Hello, friends. All right. In my training this morning, I had one of my agents say, "Hey, where do you find the statistics that you do use to share with your sphere of influence? And how can we find them and use them and communicate them?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll make a little video for you so that we can share that out." Now, here's the reason this is important. We have stressed recently, it's not recent, this is a problem that's been going on forever. The media is either uninformed, willfully uninformed, or they outright lie for some weird agenda, but they're usually not very good at reporting real accurate numbers. It seems like a lot of fear mongering, and when people are afraid, they turtle up, they don't move. They're quite often not making decisions that are in their best interest. And the way to combat that is every one of us knows a whole bunch of people. When I say us, I'm talking about the real estate agent, right? The realtor population. We know a lot of people. We should be doing a better job. We can do a better job about communicating real solid numbers to our people. And so this is what this is all about. So first of all, this is for folks in Utah. That's where I'm based. I know how to find this, but we've got our Utah Association of Realtors. If you're in a different state, if you're a realtor in a different state, then you should have something like this from your state association as well. So for us, it's utahrealtors.com. If you don't, well, you're here on this video, you should remember that. Otherwise, you could just do UAR, you could do a search and it'll pull up. But it's utahrealtors.com. When you get here, then you have a chance to log in. All right. So I've already logged in because there are stuff that's available for the public, and then there's stuff that's available for regular people, or for the real estate agent. Excuse me. You got the public and then the real estate agent. So I'm going to click right here on market statistics. When I come in here and I scroll down a little bit, if I wanted to, I could pick very county specific stuff. Okay. And there's a bunch of different reports that I can do. One of my favorite ones that I'm going to do is just the entire state. Okay. But if I wanted to be specific, if I really focused in one area, if I really focused in Weber County or Davis County, I could do something, I could run these same reports specific just to that county. Now, this is the housing supply overview. There's a couple of different reports that I can choose from. This is the one that I like. So I click on that, and that pulls up this update. Now, these reports are always about a month behind because that's when the numbers come in, but this is the most current report. And then what I like to do is just go over each of these columns or lines here and kind of explain what it means. So for people that can look at this and still be a little bit confused, I want to explain it a little bit to them. So some of the things down here, and I'll just do a quick explanation for you guys as well. So this is from August to August, comparing last August to this August, and then this is year to date, the progression from January up through the end of August, year to date. So this is comparing the changes from what the snapshot of last August versus the snapshot of today, and then this is the progression through the whole year, or the accumulation of numbers through the whole year. So when we look at new listings for the year, we're down 22%. All right. We've had this steady decline in new listings, 22% less listings now. If we look at how many listings were posted last August versus this August, then we're down 12%. So I think this is a better number for reporting on purposes for people to really see what's going on for the year. Less homes are coming on the market. Now, the interesting thing to contrast that with is that when we go to month supply of inventory, last month or last year in August, we had 3.2 months of inventory. This year, we've got 3.5 months. So even though there's less new listings coming on the market, sales are down enough. So if we look at closed sales, it's down 18% year to date. Sales are down enough that our month supply of inventory has actually increased. Now, what inventory means is if we stopped building, if we didn't put any more homes on the market, how many months would it take to sell everything that's currently on the market? And that's 3.5 months. Now, typically, here's kind of your general rule of thumb of what that means for people. Anything less than 3 months is usually a seller's market. So we saw a time over the last few years where average time on market was a week or two. And most houses would go up in a day and be under contract by that weekend. Some same day with 20 or 30. Sometimes I heard of one over 80 offers on it. Okay. That was a crazy seller's market and not really a healthy market either. Once we pass the 3 month threshold, now we've got a chance where it's balanced. Buyers can negotiate a little bit. They can say, hey, I like your house, but I think it's a little overpriced. We're going to offer just a little bit less on it. And sellers will actually consider that now. They can say, hey, we like your house, but it's not in great shape. And so we want some concessions to fix a few things. Okay, great. Sellers are now willing to negotiate on some of those things. What we saw over the last 2 or 3 years was sellers not budging on price, sellers not fixing anything, buyers having to rush and make an offer immediately, sometimes even sight unseen. Again, not a healthy market, in my opinion. I much prefer this market that we're in right now. However, that's for supply of inventory and people having a chance to negotiate with each other, having a chance to sleep about it, having a chance to see 5 or 6 homes rather than just one and having to make a decision immediately. What I don't like about this market, though, is the closed sales are down. Okay, so we're down 18% over the year in closed sales, and homes aren't coming on the market. 22% of homes are not, or 22% less homes on the market. So what I don't like about that is it reflects the fear. Now, interest rates are up to 7.5%. They're always changing a little bit. Okay. Most of my career, for everything except for the last few years, that's about where interest rates have been. And yes, they've been low for a long, long time. But for the start of my career, for probably the first, 10 years or so, this is where they were at. So this doesn't seem scary to me. And you talk to my parents' generation, and they all remember when interest rates were 15 to 18% on their home mortgages. And so they're not necessarily scared with 7%. There's a lot of people that are. I saw a study the other day that said something like 40 or 60% of realtors had never seen an interest rate in their career that was over 4%, because so many new agents had come in while rates have been low for the last few years. Anyways, that wasn't super sustainable either. Banks weren't making a lot of money. And even now, we see banks going out of business. So weird stuff is happening. What I think we need to do as agents is to help people feel more at peace that this right here, 3 months inventory, having houses on the market for 2 or 3 months, that's actually a healthy market. That's way better than what we had before. Okay. So yes, it might take a little bit longer, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing for buyers. It's more fair for them. Sellers, yeah, you may have to negotiate a little bit on price. And if we look at this, if we look year to date, median sales price has gone down 6%. We went from an average of 517 down to 483. I think that's good. If you're a seller and you just want things to appreciate, what I'm scared about is when my kids get to the point where they want to buy a home, there aren't any homes left for them to buy. You have to be making an insane amount of money to be able to afford when your starter home is $500,000. That's just crazy. All right. So what I would like to see as a result of realtors sharing this information is helping people understand, first of all, home prices are not tanking. They've gone down a little bit. Yeah, they're down 6%. Average sales price has gone down. So we've got median and average. They're both gone down over the year. Sellers are still getting, though, 96% of their original list price. That's pretty good. I mean, they're not taking major hits. They're not getting beat up really hard. And so if you're considering selling your home, yeah, it's going to take a little bit more time on the market. We're going to have to be a little bit more flexible in some of the concessions that we give and some of the pricing, but not a lot. It's not that bad. So if you're a seller, you should not be afraid of putting your home on the market. This is pretty good. You're just going to have to plan and be a little bit more patient for it. If you're a buyer, again, if I'm renting a home, my interest rate's 100%. I'm not capturing anything. If some of the fears are, well, what if I buy now and interest rates drop back down to 3% in the future? Then refinance. Okay, you can do a no-cost refinance to get that lower rate, and it's a piece of cake. So what if interest rates go up? Well, then you should buy now. But if you don't buy now and they go up next month, then buy next month. Okay, because anything's better than paying rent, right? You're getting an ownership interest. Well, what if I buy something and then it depreciates over time? Like things have gone down 6% year to date, or 4% on the average sales price. What if I buy something and it depreciates? It never depreciates over the long term. So just like any stocks and bonds, there's ups and downs. In the real estate market, those ups and downs aren't daily or hourly like the stock market. But if you take any long progression, they've always increased. Okay. So it is a very sound and solid investment. And if you look at numbers, I don't have the exact numbers on hand, but if you look at the net worth of a renter versus the net worth of a homeowner, the difference is absolutely astounding. This is the American dream for a reason. So help your clients realize the American dream, share with them the real numbers. This is not a panic state. This is not a reason to turtle up and not do anything. Go ahead, live your life and be happy, and don't be afraid of the different things that you hear out there on the news. Thanks, guys.